Our Lady's Vision to a Shepherd Boy. The story goes back to 400 years ago. A shepherd boy from Velankanni used to carry milk every day to a rich man in Nagapattinam, which is 10 kilometers away. On an unusually hot summer day, the boy was tired and thirsty, so he stopped near a small pond on whose bank was a huge banyan tree. After quenching his thirst with the water from the pond, he rested for a while in the shade of the banyan tree. Soon the boy fell into a deep sleep. Suddenly he was amazed by the sweet vision of a beautiful lady holding in her hand a most charming child of divine appearance. The boy could not take his eyes off the lady and the child. He was spellbound by this heavenly vision. The lady greeted him with a motherly smile and asked the shepherd boy for some milk for her child. He joyfully offered the milk, and seeing a bewitching smile spread over the face of the heavenly baby, the boy experienced deep satisfaction. The lady hands over the leftover milk pot to the boy and blesses him for his gratefulness. He was amazed by this vision of the lady of celestial beauty holding a lovely child in her arms. The boy continued his journey with half-empty milk pot. When he reached home of the rich man to whom he used to carry the milk every day, he begged to be excused for his unusual delay and for the shortage of milk. The boy narrated to the rich man about the apparition he had of a lady of uncommon beauty with a cherubic child, and how he had given a portion of the milk he was carrying to the child at the lady's request. As the rich man opened the lid of the milk pot, to their surprise the pot was overflowing with the milk. The story of the apparition of the lady and child and the miraculous overflowing of the milk spread like wildfire throughout the neighborhood. The master was fascinated by the extraordinary phenomenon witnessed by the boy, and he hastened to the spot where the lady had appeared with her child. Mother Mary and child Jesus appeared to them there in an encouraging vision before disappearing. Thereafter, the pond became known as Mathakulam, Our Lady's Pond. Apparition of Our Lady to the buttermilk vendor. A few years later, Velankanni was privileged to be blessed with another apparition of the Blessed Mother, and this time, to a poor lame boy of the village. There was a poor widow and her lame son lived in Velankanni. The widow would carry the lame boy and leave him under the banyan tree with a pot of buttermilk. For livelihood, the boy used to sell buttermilk for thirsty travelers, who took shelter under the banyan tree. On an extremely hot day the boy was waiting for customers, but as no one turned up, he was little disappointed. But his disappointment turned into joy when he saw a lady of stunning beauty standing before him, holding a baby of dazzling beauty in her arms. The lady looked at the boy with a charming smile and asked him for a cup of buttermilk for the child. Without hesitation the boy gave her a cup of buttermilk. With a sense of deep satisfaction the boy saw the lady feeding her child with the buttermilk he had offered her. The lady gratefully acknowledged the youth's generosity and requested another favor of him. Mary asked the boy to go to Nagapattinam to tell a certain Catholic man living there that she and her son had appeared in the area, and that he should build a church there to commemorate the apparition. The boy told Mary that he'd like to go, but he couldn't walk on his own, so he had to wait for his mother to arrive at the end of the day and carry him there. Mary urged him to try, and when he did, he realized that he had been miraculously healed of his disability. The boy then ran to Nagapattinam to narrate the apparition to the gentleman. He informed the gentleman that she had sent him as her messenger to ask him to build a chapel in her honor in Velankanni. The gentleman had no doubt in believing the boy, as he himself had a similar vision of Our Lady in his sleep the previous night, bidding him build a chapel in her honor. With the willing cooperation of the people of that locality, the man erected a chapel for Our Lady at the site of her second appearance in Velankanni. This chapel became a holy place of veneration to our Blessed Mother, and she was called henceforth Mother of Good Health, Velankanni Madha. Portuguese sailor's ship caught in a storm. The third incident occurred when the Portuguese sailors were sailing from Macau to Colombo through Bay of Bengal. While it was cruising towards the west to reach the Bay of Bengal, it was caught in a violent storm. The storm grew violent and the waves rose high. The high waves hit the ship hard and the sailors were terrified. The helpless sailors fell on their knees and prayed to Mother Mary, Star of the Sea, for their rescue. They vowed to build a church in her honor wherever she helped them land safely. Their sincere prayer was instantly heard, and all of a sudden the storm was subsided and sea became calm. Soon the ship was pushed to safety to the shores of Velankanni. On landing, the first thing the sailors did was to fall on their knees and thank God and the Blessed Virgin Mary for having saved their lives. Next, they transformed the chapel erected by the Catholic gentlemen of Nagapattinam into a beautiful stone-built chapel. In thanksgiving, the sailors rebuilt the shrine to Our Lady of Good Health, and continued to enhance it whenever their voyage brought them to the area. The merchants dedicated the chapel to Our Lady on September 8 to celebrate the feast of her nativity and to mark the date of their safe landing to Velankanni. The shrine of Velankanni was elevated to the status of minor basilica, and merged with the major basilica of Mary, Mary Major, in Rome on the 3rd of November 1962 by Pope John XXIII.